You want to be a leader, but you're tired of being ignored, aren't you? You're tired of having great ideas that nobody listens to? Tired of watching less qualified people get promoted while you stay invisible? I get it. You work hard, you're smart, but somehow you just don't have that mysterious it factor that makes people naturally respect you. But 2,500 years ago, Buddha, Jesus, Confucius, and ancient Vedic teachers discovered the exact same secret about influence that changes everything. Real leadership has nothing to do with your title, your speeches, or even your skills. There's an invisible force that makes people want to follow you. And you know what? I've seen janitors with more natural leadership than CEOs because they understand this ancient principle. In the next 12 minutes, I'll show you how to develop that magnetic presence that makes people stop talking when you enter a room. Now, this isn't about fake confidence or manipulation. This is about becoming the person others naturally turn to for guidance. But here's the thing, and it's big. If you're not ready to look in the mirror and do the uncomfortable work, this video isn't for you. For everyone else who's tired of being overlooked, let's unlock your invisible powers. Your path to natural leadership starts now. The invisible power of presence. You know that person who walks into a room and without saying a word, people just respect them. They're not loud. They're not trying to prove anything, but when they speak, people listen. I used to think leadership was about having the right title or giving the best speeches. However, I then discovered something that completely overturned that idea. Over 2,500 years ago, 4 of the world's most influential figures, Buddha, Jesus, Confucius, and the Vedic sages of India, each discovered the exact same truth about influence. And you know what? Not only did they teach it, they embodied it. Today, in a world full of noise and fake personas, this ancient principle might just be the single most powerful way to lead without needing followers, fame, or even permission. Different worlds, same truth. Here's what blows my mind about these teachings. They come from different cultures, different centuries, even different continents, but they all point to the same revolutionary truth. Real leadership isn't what you say, it's what you embody. Buddha, the leader who sat still. He didn't form a movement by marketing himself. He sat silently beneath a Bodhi tree and found peace within. People came not because he was loud, but because he was aligned. He said, "Be a lamp unto yourself," not "follow me," but "become the light you wish others would become." Confucius, virtue over volume. Confucius gave us this stunning metaphor. He who exercises government by means of virtue may be compared to the North Star, which keeps its place while all the stars turn around it. The North Star doesn't chase. It doesn't demand attention. It just stays consistent, and everything else orbits around it. And here's the thing. Confucius didn't just say that, he lived it. He wasn't a ruler. He never held long-term political power. But wherever he went, people respected him, not because he demanded it, but because he embodied it. Here's a story from his travels. In one province, a cruel official ruled through fear. People avoided him, but Confucius, he walked right in, greeted the man with calm, respectful honesty. No flattery, no fear, just grounded virtue, just presence. And something shifted. That official, who was known for cruelty, softened, not from force, but from the quiet strength of someone who walked his talk. That was Confucius's leadership. He didn't force change, he inspired it. Jesus, the teacher who took the towel. According to Christian belief, this is the Son of God. And yet, what did he do? He knelt and washed his disciples' feet, not as a performance, but as a radical demonstration of humility. He said, "The greatest among you shall be your servant." He didn't just preach humility, he lived it. The Vedic sages, alignment is everything. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a powerful line. Whatever action is performed by a great man, common men follow in his footsteps. This is the essence of Dharma, not a belief system, but alignment. Being the same person when the world is watching and when it isn't. The modern crisis. Why this wisdom matters now more than ever. Fast forward to today. We live in a world where everyone's shouting, "Follow me, buy from me, believe in me." We're drowning in influence attempts. Everyone's got a platform, a message, a personal brand. Social media is just people shouting over each other, trying to be heard. But here's what I've noticed. The louder the world gets, the more powerful quiet integrity becomes. The more fake everything feels, the more we crave authenticity. Marcus, the janitor who leads without words. Take Marcus, a janitor at a hospital. No title, no social media following. He never gives speeches about kindness, never posts motivational quotes. But every single day, when he sees a worried family member in the hallway, he stops. He asks if they're okay. He listens. Sometimes he just sits with them. The nurses tell me that families ask for Marcus during hard times. Why? Because he doesn't just talk about being kind. He lives it. Keanu Reeves, the modern-day monk. You've seen the stories about Keanu, where he gave up his seat on the subway or took a pay cut so other actors could get hired. Yeah, he quietly donates. He has zero ego. He never said, "I'm humble." He just is. And people are drawn to that kind of quiet alignment, like moths to a flame. The mirror that doesn't lie. So, how do we actually live this ancient truth? Here's what changed everything for me. 6 months ago, I started doing what I call the honesty check. Every night before bed, I ask myself one question. Did my actions today reflect the person I claim to be? At first, the answers were uncomfortable. I talked about presence, but I scrolled through dinner, said I valued honesty, but I exaggerated stories, claimed compassion. But I snapped at a barista over coffee. When I began aligning my actions with my values, something magical happened. People started seeking my opinion more. They shared deeper things with me. They trusted me and gave me bigger responsibilities. I wasn't trying to lead anyone. I was just trying to be consistent. The result? Well, I became a better person, a role model, a mentor, and a leader. Ask yourself. So let me ask you, if you value honesty, do you tell the truth, even when it's inconvenient? When you're 5 minutes late, do you admit it or blame traffic? If you value compassion, do you extend it first, especially when it's hardest? Like when someone cuts you off in traffic or when a coworker steals credit for something you did. If you value presence, do you put your phone away during dinner? Do you really listen? Or are you planning what you will say next? A simple exercise. Here's something powerful you can do right now. Write down 3 values that matter most to you. Then ask, where in my life do my actions not yet reflect this value? That question alone is a form of leadership. Because when you start closing the gap between who you say you are and how you live, you give others permission to do the same. The ripple effect. The ripple effect. Quiet action changes everything. You don't need a platform. You don't need a title. You don't even need permission. You just need to live your values consistently. Grandma, the quiet culture shifter. I think of my grandmother, She never held a leadership role. She worked in a factory, raised 4 kids, lived in a small town her whole life. But she had one rule. She never spoke negatively about anyone, ever. At family gatherings, when the conversation turned to gossip, Grandma would gently shift the topic. When neighbors complained, Grandma always found something kind to say. She didn't preach kindness, she lived it. And you know what happened? Over time, people just stopped gossiping around her, not out of guilt, but because her presence elevated everyone's values and moral compass. Tom, the teacher they never forgot. Tom is a high school math teacher, not a principal, not an influencer, but for 15 years, he's greeted every student by name, every single morning. Yes, every student, even the troublemakers. Well, especially the troublemakers. And when students return years later, they don't mention math. They say to Tom, "You made me feel like I mattered." That's the ripple effect of authentic action. It's those simple things, and they don't cost a dime. Don't gossip. Recognize people by their name. Simply put, just be present and value those around you. When you live your values, you don't just change yourself. You change the energy of every room you enter and every person you touch. Light your own lamp. Buddha called it, "Be a lamp unto yourself." But the light doesn't just illuminate you, does it? It lights the path for everyone around you. You become the light, the leader, without even trying. You are just the real, authentic you. Your challenge this week. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one value that truly matters to you, just one. And for the next 7 days, live like it's the most important thing in the world. Maybe it's honesty, or compassion, or presence, or humility like Jesus, or consistency like Confucius, or quiet peace like Buddha. You don't have to be perfect. Just be consistent. Because remember, whatever action is performed by a great man, common men follow in his footsteps. You don't have to be famous to be a great leader. You just have to be real and true to yourself. Final thoughts. Let me know in the comments how you will become a better leader. What value did you choose? And what did you learn about yourself? If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who's quietly lighting the way for others. And if you're ready to explore more timeless wisdom to upgrade your modern life, hit that subscribe button, because your life is a message. Make sure it's one worth following.